Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where I'll be covering all three levels of the escalation contract, the Percival Passage, which is the Deluxe Escalation contract on the Dartmoor level of Hitman 3. It unlocks the hunting suit that you can see 47 wearing now, and also if you complete level 3 unlocks the hunter's briefcase and the Bartoli hunting rifle. Now of course the whole Dartmoor map in general, but this escalation contract in particular is a throwback to the Hitman contracts level Beldingford Manor, one of those very popular Hitman contracts levels that I can remember playing growing up. Anyway, so you will have seen the route that I take to get to the house. That's fairly straightforward, and for the first level of the escalation all you need to do is climb up the drain pipe here, go through this window. You can also just take the ledge round to the left as well, but I prefer to be crouch running around inside if I can rather than shimmying around ledges. God knows there's enough shimmying around ledges in these three levels of this escalation. So then you want to hop out of this window, so you just have to go round the upper level of the main lounge area of the manor there, and pop out of the window on the other side. Then you want to hop up this ledge, and your first contract is this man here, and you can just perform an accident kill on him. So the body will be found, but because a fall from that height is counted as an accident, the body being found will not deprive you of your silent assassin status. Now your second target is inside the room, just here, but you need to wait and not enter the room until he is looking out of that window, which he's now doing, and you can go ahead and shove him out as well. So another accident kill there, and again the body will be found, but it does not prevent you from getting a silent assassin rating because it is counted as an accident kill. If you want to reason that out, just imagine that they've all assumed that two people have just very unluckily fallen out of windows within about 20 seconds of each other. Anyway. And then you can leave here, just being careful not to be seen for too long by those two gardeners. And that is a very simple way to complete the first level of this escalation contract. The second one that we're about to begin is made a little more difficult, but not hugely more difficult, by the addition of an extra target and the requirement that you kill them with a specific tool, the barber's razor, which can be found in the bathroom that we actually went through as part of the first level anyway, so not hugely more difficult. Again, just take the same route to get to the manor, through the garden, being careful not to be seen by anyone for too long, but it's fairly straightforward to navigate through to this point. I do find that hopping up here is probably the best way to actually reach the walls of the manor. Then you do need to be careful that that maid inside doesn't see you for too long either. You could of course just be patient and wait until she's got her back to you, but to be honest, as long as you don't linger, she won't be able to see you for long enough to actually count as spotted. So grab the razor here. Then again you need to run round to the other side of the main lounge area so that you can hop out of the next window. Hop out here. And again, we're just going to the same ledge that we just did as part of the first stage. I kept thinking I was going to be spotted by this guy, but at no point was I ever spotted by this guy, so I think we can be fairly confident that he won't see you as you hop over that balcony. The other complication in this second level, I should add, is that all the bodies need to be hidden, which, again, it's not hugely difficult to comply with that. Takes a little bit longer, but not massively. Again, remember before you enter this room to make sure that your target is looking out of the window. Here he was at the point that I wanted to come in, so I can go ahead, slit his throat, and hide the body. There's no need even to do anything to take care of the lawyer who shares this room with that target. There is in the final level, but in both the first and second level, the lawyer can remain unharmed, go about his business, billing time.
I'll double check and get back.
And once you are out of that window on this ledge, you need to head a fair way round the building. As long as you are moving reasonably quickly and staying up on the ledge as opposed to hanging down from it, there should be no real risk of you being seen during this section of manoeuvring. Move past these two windows. Don't be tempted to go back in. And eventually, after what might feel like quite a long time, you will make it to a drain pipe that will take you up to the third level, which is where your final target is. Unfortunately, we will need to repeat that rather extensive section of ledge shimmying for the final escalation stage, but for now, we are where we need to be. Just be careful as you pop through this window, as you'll see in the next level. You do need to be careful that that butler slash cleaner is not looking as you hop through the window. Here there is a maid and a bodyguard, both of whom I think it makes sense to knock out. I'm sure there probably is a way to navigate this section without taking out both or maybe even either of them, but I found that it just made sense to make sure that they were out of the way. Just removes a level of risk from the second and third stages of this escalation contract. And you can grab this iron, which makes taking the bodyguard out a bit easier. You don't need to subdue him. Instead, you can throw an iron at his head, like that. And for the third level, we'll actually end up taking out his colleague at the end of the corridor as well. But for this second level, just these two will do. So with those two neatly out of the picture, we can go ahead and eliminate our final target. Just be careful not to be seen by either the guard at the end of the hallway, or there are people, of course, in the room that's open behind you as you enter this room. Anyway, go ahead and eliminate this target. It helps to be able to throw the razor at him, because I'm not sure you would easily be able to maneuver yourself behind him, given where he stands. And you do need to hide his body. That is a requirement, again, of this level of the escalation. There should be no risk of you being seen by anyone whilst you're doing this. So, once he's nicely stored out of the way, you can begin to think about escaping this place. As lovely as it is, as lovely as we'd all like to stick around, as much as we'd all like to stick around, you just need to go to the end of the hallway and hop out of this window. Find this drain pipe. Use that to get down to the second level of the manor. Move past that window. Here you need to drop down and then climb back up again. I'm not sure why they didn't make it so that you could just, you know, not be constantly switching between hanging and shimmying, but oh well. You do actually need to be careful though, because whilst you are hanging as opposed to shimmying, you are more easily spotted, and there are a number of guards on the ground floor there who might see you if you're not careful. Anyway, just wait for the maid through this window to move out of the way. She won't see you, I think, to be honest. Even if you stand in front of the glass there, she wouldn't see you.
I demand that you return
anyway.
my call ASAP. Sending a junior attorney is gross negligence of your responsibilities, and will have
sending a
consequences
junior
for your
attorney
company
is apparently gross
and
negligence
you
these days.
personally as well. I will make sure of that.
These two shouldn't see you as you just move round the back of that study area to hop out of the window. And then you can go straight to this gap in the wall, and just being careful not to be seen by the various guards and gardeners who are patrolling the grounds. As long as you're reasonably careful about it, you should be able to make your way to the location where you would usually start this Dartmoor level. As you approach the exit here, one thing to be mindful of is that you are not openly carrying any illegal items, because it ceases to be trespassing once you're over this wall. However, were you to be carrying any illegal items, I think these two guards would spot you. One of them has a go at spotting you anyway, because even though it's not trespassing here, apparently one of them just doesn't like the look of you very much. Hop on your motorbike and roar away. So then, for the final level, and the way they shake things up a bit for this final level is that they require you to use a shotgun for your kills. Now, that's an interesting requirement. I'm not usually a huge fan of the requirements in escalation contracts which take the element of stealth away, but the way they've implemented it here I think actually is quite fun, because there is a way to stealthily use the shotgun, and you have to obtain the shotgun first, which requires a decent amount of stealth in itself. The way that we're going to acquire the shotgun is that we need to actually enter the ground floor level of the manor for the first time during this escalation. So once you've made your way to the normal point at which we've approached the manor walls, you'll now need to wait for the maid, who sometimes can be a spotting risk here, to have her back to you, at which point you can sneak past her down to the end of this hallway. Do close these doors behind you, otherwise that maid might turn around and see you. You need to wait for 3 people to move through this hallway ahead of you. Do be careful that the final one of those, who sometimes lags a bit, is out of the way before you move down the hallway and to your right, which is where the shotguns are kept. This glass display case. There are other ways to get a shotgun on this level, but to be honest, having to break the glass is not the end of the world, because actually, as much as it seems like, you know, that should be a major risk and loads of people are going to hear it and come flooding in on your position, actually I don't think that happens at all, and no one really notices. So now you can hop out of this window. And actually, one of the more difficult things about this escalation is making it round this corner, bizarrely enough. You need to tuck in behind this plant so that you're not seen by this this waitstaff at this point. As far as I can tell, he remains in that location the whole time, so the only thing you can do is try crouch running past him and just not letting him see you for long enough to count as spotted. So you need to stick tight to that wall and crouch run quickly. Anyway, once you've got past him, you then move up the drain pipe as we did for the first and second levels, go into the bathroom as we did for the first and second levels, move through the upper level of the lounge area as the meeting from the main story mission for Dartmoor is taking place. Drop down, just shimmy round to the location of our first target, and then the real fun begins. So obviously you need to be very cautious about the way that you approach doing this kill with the shotgun. I found that the best way was to make sure that all the targets were ready to be hidden, so that the body wouldn't be found. So drag them straight to the container that you intend to put them in. Obviously you need to incapacitate them first, drag them to the container in which you intend to hide their body, then ready your shotgun, and just be ready to do this quickly. So as soon as you've put a round in them, you need to put a cartridge in them, I suppose. You need to hide the body and hide yourself. Here, I think we could have actually hopped out onto the balcony and dropped down to hide that way, but if you're brave, you can stay in the room and just
Please advise, over.
kind of reposition yourself to stay out of view of these two guards.
All clear. Move out. Search within the perimeter.
One thing to be conscious of is that if you're unlucky, they sometimes do a slightly more thorough search of this room, which can be more difficult to evade, in which case it might be an idea to drop down the side of the balcony or something. Anyway, in my case for this playthrough, I was lucky and the two guards see fit to leave after what was actually quite a cursory glance around a room in which, you know, a shotgun blast has been heard and their colleague is no longer on guard at the station at which they would presumably expect him to be on guard, but anyway. So again, we need to be careful that as we enter this room, our friend and target here is not looking at the door. We can go ahead and incapacitate him, and as I mentioned in the second level, we do also here need to incapacitate the lawyer. Sorry, lawyer, but at least you get some sleep. So hide the lawyer's body first, obviously, and then drag your target over to the container, as I mentioned. And again, you need to be ready to do three things in quick succession, which is fire the shotgun into the target, hide the target's body, and then hide yourself. So, 1 and 2 done, hop out of this window, and that will be that. So obviously the guards do come into that room and look for you, so if you're not quick enough, you'll be seen by them and probably killed by them. Well, no, I mean, you can take them, but it won't be pretty. So now you're just taking the same route as we did for the second level of the escalation. Just shimmying around the entire side of the building. Again, should be no real risk of being seen. And you get to admire the Bartoli shotgun that you unlock for completing this third level of the escalation contract. Now you might think that we're quite a long way from finishing here because we still have 3 contracts left. The good news is that they are all pretty much located in the same place, which is the office of the matriarch of the family, the place where you most likely carry out the assassination in the main story mode Dartmoor mission. So as I mentioned, just be careful that the butler is not looking at this window, as he is at the moment, for instance. Just wait for him to do something else and turn his back on the window, which he will usually do before too long. He doesn't stay fixated on this direction for very long. So now as he turns away, you can see his body language. You can hop through the window. Again, move straight through to your left. And as I mentioned in the second level, we are once again going to take out the maid, the bodyguard, and also the bodyguard at the end of the hallway here. None of this is too difficult. Usually maid first, so wait for her to rotate into this kind of laundry room. Take out the maid, then take out this bodyguard. Once this bodyguard has been taken out, hide his body. I feel like it makes sense to hide this body in particular quite quickly, because there are people in the room that is kind of just round the corner from where he falls, where he was standing and where he falls. So I'm not sure if any of them could theoretically spot the body, but best to remove that possibility anyway. And then, as I said, we're going to take out this guard as well. Maybe not strictly speaking necessary, but it does reduce the number of enforcers who might be tempted to come and investigate a gunshot. So, your 3 targets. Take out this man first. Drag his body up the stairs towards the container that we'll use for him. Admiring the beautiful study decor as you go. Once his body is in position, we can go and knock out the other 2 guards. I would recommend incapacitating these 3 before killing any of them. Otherwise you're kind of asking for trouble. Because I imagine that they would all hear any shotgun blast in this vicinity. So just wait. I found the best setup for this is to wait until the guard who's more mobile goes over to the left-hand side. Hit him, and then go and take out the other guard. So now we just need to move these bodies so that they're ready to be stored after assassination. So it makes sense to have them both at the same container. At the time I was doing this, I did worry about that man's submachine gun as well, and how we should hide that, but to be honest, I don't think you need to give it undue thought. Now I actually, one of these men saved his friend, being a human shield, so that I slightly fluffed that assassination, but it's okay, because we got there in the end. So those 2 bodies hidden away, then you can go straight up. You don't really need to use the drain pipe. This is just kind of showing off at this point. Shimmy onto this balcony, go inside, find your next target. Just check that no one's come to investigate that shotgun blast. And you can take the final target out, hide his body. And now we're ready to escape. It makes sense, by the way, to ditch the shotgun at this point. There's no requirement to actually finish the level with it. Just put it with that other one, I suppose. So not that it actually matters other than out-of-game logic, but I thought it looks less suspicious if the shotguns are found together. So then again, to the end of this hallway, out of the window. And it's exactly the same route as we took last time. One complication on this 3rd level though, I found annoyingly that I was not able to run past the bodyguard for the matriarch in the final room that we easily kind of ran out of at the end of the second level, so I end up having to wait a moment for the woman and her bodyguard to exit the room that we're about to enter the upper level of. Again, just wait for the maid here to move away from the window, hop through, and you'll see what I mean here. I was kind of primed and ready to just go downstairs and move past them, but they seem to be spotting me quite quickly there. Again, apparently sending a junior attorney is gross negligence of your responsibilities. So annoyingly, I ended up thinking it's safest here to wait for everyone to vacate the vicinity. And she doesn't even get on with it after a phone call. She goes and warms her hands by the fire for a moment. They'll have a bigger fire to worry about if they don't take care of the fact that the candelabra is apparently dropping wax. Anyway. So, with no one around to see us, we can just run straight to the window here, hop out, and it's more or less exactly the same same exit strategy as for the second level. Someone did nearly see me as I hopped out of the window there, so again I have to just wait a second for him to lose interest, but he does. Just be conscious of that guard as well. So this one to my left at the moment, who does patrol this location. It's easy enough to time it so that you're either running behind him there or when he's not in the area. Hop down here. Again, you just need to be conscious that there are various guards and gardeners around, but as long as you're somewhat careful, you can easily just make your way towards the exit. This exit takes a bit of time to get to. There may well be better exits. For instance, at the end of the first level of the escalation, I was able to use an exit that was much more easily accessible, but anyway, here what I'm really going for after what is quite a long level of the escalation, I'm just trying to make it out with minimal risk. So as I said, it's no longer trespassing. Just if you did have the shotgun still, that would be an illegal item and quite likely seen by those two guards. As it is, you just need to make sure that one of them can't see you for too long. And hop on your bike to paraphrase Tevet, and away we go. So yeah, I really enjoyed this escalation. In general, I think all the premium escalations have been very good. If you found this helpful, you can check out my videos on doing those other premium escalations. And it would be massively appreciated if you wanted to like or even subscribe. Yes, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to making another video for you soon.